With the initial banners of Nod-Krai and the expected future banners for characters like Columbina, Durin, and Varka, it's very important that we use our limited resources carefully and get the best units for our accounts. Starting with the banners. Version 6.2 banners are already confirmed, and if early information is correct, Columbina will drop in version 6.3 alongside the White Adeptus. We'll also be getting Varka right after that, who will be in addition to the Arcane members list, or in other words, the next face of DPS after Mavuika.
Around the same time, we'll see reruns for Mavuika, Skirk, Escoffier, and even Neuvillette. So which are the units that are going to serve us the most in the upcoming stages? Let's start with the first priority, Xilonen. Currently, the most versatile unit and the best support in the entire game, with the most number of teams and unmatched buffs. Her value rises even higher as she's not only a buffer but also a healer, solving most of your defensive needs. She's a must-pull for new and returning players since she's super easy to build with numerous artifact sets that can be customized according to your DPS. You can even run her with a 3-star weapon and level 0 set, and she still performs exactly the same. That's how good she is for players who want to focus on their DPS rather than spending limited resources building supports.
Before we go further, let me introduce Loot Bar. They're currently the safest and cheapest way to top up and are running a special discount right now. Just click my link in the description, select your server, enter your UID, and your Genesis crystals are delivered instantly. Loot Bar is trusted by hundreds of thousands of players worldwide, and new users even get an extra 10% coupon on their first purchase. Okay, back to the topic. We'll also be getting Durin as the brand new character in version 6.2.
He will be the second best pyro unit after Mavuika from the very first day of his banner, which itself is a reason to get him. He has amazing synergy with older units, buffing them insanely and even unlocking an arcane stage, which makes his value even higher. As the constellations for older units like Klee, Mona, and Albedo are now free to obtain, his value skyrockets. With the arcane stage active, he only gets stronger over time as you gain more constellations, like Klee C2, Mona C4, or even Albedo C2. He also has incredible future synergy with Varka, Alice, and Nicole, all of them being arcane members. I won't go deeper into his details here since we already made several videos about Durin, so make sure to check those out. Now, coming to the next unit, Columbina. An absolute must-pull, with priority even higher than any unit we've talked about so far. She's not only going to work with every Nod-Krai character we've seen so far, but she's also expected to be one of the strongest sub-DPS and support units in the entire game. As the face of Nod-Krai, Columbina is bound to be broken, especially if you already have Flynn's and Nefer. Some of the expected things she can provide include resistance shred, elemental mastery buffs, lunar reaction damage buffs, and tons of personal damage. She's also going to have synergy with Sandrone and Varka, both expected to be among the strongest DPS units, especially Sandrone, who's rumored to revive her entire element back into the meta. Talking about elements, Anemo is still one that lacks a true DPS since the release of Wanderer. Units like Chaska, despite having fascinating kits, always fell short in damage compared to other releases. But that might change with the release of Varka, unless Hoyo. Varka is expected to be the best DPS in the first half of Nod-Krai, with synergy alongside Durin and other arcane members, including Columbina. We still don't have much confirmed information other than him being an Anemo DPS, but judging by his banner timing and release window, don't be surprised if he becomes the best DPS in the entire game. Talking about the current best DPS, Mavuika is still the best pyro character in the entire game, making her a must-have unit. She can be your buffer, support, off-field damage dealer, or main DPS. Her synergy covers almost every attack scaling DPS, and she even works with units like Neuvillette thanks to her off-field damage potential. As a main DPS, she pairs perfectly with nearly every buffer in the game, making her extremely free-to-play friendly. And we can't forget Skirk. she holds the second best DPS team in the game. But is she a good investment compared to the other units we've talked about? Honestly, no, unless you're planning to get both Escoffier and Skirk. This duo can solve most of your cryo DPS needs, and together they're one of the strongest pairs in the entire game. But if you don't have either of them, I'd suggest skipping both and focusing on other archetypes, since you can make other units work with lower investment, and they're much more flexible compared to the current cryo state of the game.
Other units like Varka can be extremely useful for any account, but as a new or returning player, it's better to invest in units that are the most universal and are going to serve you long-term, until you're in a position to afford different characters. Reruns like Venti, Neuvillette, Arlecchino, and Zhongli, and even Natlin reruns are not recommended above these new units, especially if you're starting fresh. But if you want to see a more detailed video about each unit, I'd recommend checking out the tier list we made recently. Before coming to the priority list, guys, we are super close to 7,000 subscribers, so don't forget to hit subscribe and like, it really helps a lot. Now, coming to the priority list. It can vary from account to account, but based on general rewards, as a free-to-play player, you can gain up to 250 pulls from the current version to version 6.4. That's around 60 to 65 pulls per version, which means, at maximum, you can obtain about 3 characters. This number will be even higher if someone is starting fresh, since they have more ways to gain extra rewards. Coming back to the priority list, Columbina should be at number 1 priority. As a Hydro unit and a support, her value is insane, especially if you have Nefer and Flynn's, or even future characters like the White Adeptus, Varka, and Sandrone, who will all share synergy with her. As said before, we're just piecing together early info to predict the future, so nothing is completely confirmed yet. The second priority should be Mavuika, who is currently the best DPS unit and has the potential to remain in the top 3 until the end of Nod-Krai. As an on-field DPS, she can also be used in multiple ways, making her an insanely strong pull. At number 3, I would put either Durin or Xilonen, depending on your account. If you already have Mavuika, you might not want to pull Durin immediately, since Mavuika already performs a similar job as an off-field DPS. Yes, Durin gives you the potential to build teams around older Mondstadt units, but currently, none of those teams come close to the top meta setups. However, Durin still provides great future potential, especially with upcoming characters like Alice and Nicole, which is why he remains in the number 3 spot even after Mavuika, who can do a similar job right now. Coming to Xilonen, if you're starting fresh or returning, your best option is her. She's not only the best support currently, but her overall value is insane for numerous reasons we discussed earlier. If you already have Mavuika and need a dedicated support for her, Xilonen is one of the best pulls you can go for. Other DPS units like Neuvillette and Arlecchino, or even reruns from Natlin, while still strong, will gradually lose value as new teams and synergies form. As said, for most of you who already have units like Mavuika and Xilonen from their previous reruns, it's best to aim for Durin and Columbina to secure another fully functional endgame-ready team. But if you're still confused about whom to get, that's perfectly reasonable. It all depends on your current account state. The best advice is to focus on one patch at a time. Let me know if you'd like a detailed banner breakdown for version 6.2, which is shaping up to be one of the most stacked banners we've seen recently. Till then, stay tuned.